What is up, guys? Zam from the Madden YouTube channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about why Clearout Split End Out is the single best play in gun bunch that you can run. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the uploads coming your way here on the Zam Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to take your game to the next level in Madden 21, check out my strategy site, gridirongameplans.gg. Gridiron Game Plans is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online head-to-head gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active. So head over to gridirongameplans.gg, $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. Okay guys, without further ado, let's get into today's video. We're going to talk about why the play Clearout Split End Out is the single best play to run if you prefer bunch in Madden 21. This is actually a play that I have not run a whole heck of a lot this year, but obviously this is a very, very popular play that a lot of players will run. If you guys are interested to find out which playbooks this is in, you could find this in the Falcons, Ravens, and the Seahawks offensive playbooks. I personally have been running bunch out of the Washington football team offense this year, and I have a full game plan on Gridiron. And I think that the Washington football team offense is very, very good in that it's got some unique concepts that are very similar to this video. So if you guys want more details on that, go over to Gridiron. But with this particular play, I find that it is one of the best in the game because it requires that your opponent, even if they're playing man coverage, has to shade over the top, in that it has two of the best fade routes in the game on the same play. So let's go ahead and take the field and talk about those. I'm going to go ahead and spot the ball like most players would with a bunch. I'm just going to spot it about 50 yards away and with the bunch to the wide side of the field. Now, we all know at this point in time that the top defensive meta is clearly to play man coverage. And these players are going to play man, they're going to play press, and they're going to mix in their purple zones. They're going to mix in a user over the middle, maybe, drop some spies or some vertical hooks on the field to take away, angle routes, things of that nature, right? And most players are going to blitz their user and they're just going to kind of chill in the middle of the field and lurk. A lot of players are going to rush maybe 3 players, 2 if you're in 3-3-5, and rely on those double or nothings to get home. The problem with running a press coverage against the play clear out is that there are 3 really, really good routes on this play for the user to have to play if you don't have halves on the field. So the first 2 are obviously the fades that we talked about. You've got the fade to Metcalf and the fade to Lockett. These are different than a hot route and fade. So you see that I put Lockett on a hot route fade by hitting Y, X, and then up on the right stick. That is way different than the route that Metcalf is on. So if you take a look, the stock route, it's basically a streak that kind of after 2 yards, 3 yards hitches and gets this outside release. This hitch is the reason that this route gets such a great release animation against press. You'll even notice that you could put running backs on these routes. A lot of players use just kind of a running back either in the slot in bunch, or they'll put them at the solo receiver because the solo receiver doesn't tend to run a ton of routes that need a lot of route running. And it's more of a locomotion style thing. So with this play in general, if they're playing press coverage, one of these 2 routes, if not both, is going to pop. I mean, you see that DK's open, you see that Lockett's open on the other side, and that was against Jair Alexander. So what you're going to see here against man is that these routes routinely get the same animation against press. Take a look here again. DK wins instantly on his. You see that immediately Jair Alexander's trailing. Over here, take a look at Kevin King against Lockett. Same animation, that kind of whiff animation, free release down the sideline. Now again, you can see why you need deep halves. If you have a safety right here in a purple zone on the sideline set to 25 yards or default, this could be a lob over the top. And again, the same deal over here. If you have this guy in a purple zone instead of a deep half, you're going to have the throw to DK over the top, which is what we get here. So I'll run a few more reps here of, press man. And again, just kind of showing how important it is to make sure that you have a deep half on this play. Really can't play a ton of man press against this. Again, Lockett wins. We're going to throw a lob to him. And again, DK did on the other side as well. So this is a play that you can routinely go to anytime they're playing press, even bench press. You know, if they want to use the bench press ability, not very many people are anymore. Bench press doesn't really fatigue the player enough. It will light up, but they'll still give up that beat press animation, and the guy won't slow down enough to a point where the man defender will get back in the play. So again, you're going to see here now DK, both of those guys won. Again, DK is wide open for a one-play score. Anytime you're facing man press, this is the go-to. Probably the best press beater in the game because of the fact that you have these two stock fades. Now, again, there are other routes or other plays in the game, especially in bunch, that have this route. One play I think of in the Washington book is the play wide receiver cross, which has the solo receiver on this route. One play I think about in Washington bunch is the play, their version of clear out, in which the middle receiver, the right bumper receiver, is on this route. But this play right here is one of the best because you can kind of have this beat press animation from, you know, a spread set or a compressed set. So like, let's say for instance that your opponent is keen to this and they decide to play an inside quarter on this. If you watch DK, he's going to get that beat press animation. You're still going to have the ability, actually right there, the inside quarter tried to play the tight end post, but there will be times in which sometimes if you don't use that tight end post, that inside quarter can play on that. And that's what's great about this play, is that you can still motion out. If you like to mix in some spread concepts out of your bunch, you could motion this guy outside, which allows you to isolate your tight end, your slot receiver, and your running back over the middle of the field. Again, we haven't really run any hot routes on this play, but again, you see that it's the same beat press animation nearly every single time against man press. That was cover one press. Let's go ahead and show you two-man under. So if we show you two-man under, let's go ahead and put purple zones on the field here, because there are some people out there that do believe that two-man under press plays different than cover one press. We show you the press animations here. Again, it's the same deal, the same beat press animations on both sides of the field, very, very consistently for the one-play score. Now, I know that Lockett and Metcalf are both really good, so let me go ahead and put in a different player here to kind of hammer this home. Now, let me go ahead and sub in guys that have a little bit less of a release rating but are still fast. So maybe, for instance, Philip Dorsett over here, and let me put in just somebody regular. I don't even know who Swain is. Freddie Swain, you're on the field. So again, the play we're running here is the play clear out, split end out. And again, this is going to work really well against man-to-man coverage. So if I were to play, again, cover one robber press, 3-3-5, pretty popular defense. Now we're watching Dorsett and Swain. You see that basically the same deal. Dorsett got open, beat the press animation. Now you see right there that if you have a deep zone in the middle, you know, on the middle of the field, obviously right there I lobbed it. But again, most players aren't playing a deep middle third. They're playing, you know, purple zones. And, you know, chances are you're not using Freddie Swain opposite. You're using a pretty good receiver that's also going to get the beat press animation. So you see Swain struggled a little bit, but again, Dorsett just smokes his man off the ball to get open for the one-play score. So really all you need on this route is speed. Don't even need a crazy high release rating to consistently beat this. Now, the other things that are great about this play is we haven't even talked about the tight end or the slot receiver route. This slot receiver route, this option route, is a pretty solid route against man coverage in general. So let's say, for instance, that your opponent is tired of getting beat press and then they start to shade up, which is going to be over the top to make sure that they don't get beat. There's a couple other routes on this play without any hot routes that get open. So you're going to see that this option route to Gordon is a route that you can throw. Again, you're going to have a better receiver here in Mutt than you have with Gordon. The other route that's really, really good is the tight end route. The tight end route you may have seen a fair amount, especially early on in the year. This post route is so dynamite. It runs very, very deep. You know, obviously if you have good route running on your tight end, medium and deep route running, this is going to be preferred. But even a guy like Disley is going to be able to, you can kind of throw this low ball in the middle of the field there. That's in a spot on the field that the user has to be as well. So as you can kind of imagine, if your opponent is going to play press coverage against this, it's going to have to be two-man under. It's going to have to be halves on the field because both those guys beat press on the outside, and the attention is really going to need to be in center field with their user, which is really going to open up the tight end. I'm sorry, the receiver, the running back routes. Obviously, you're going to be able to use different routes like Texas routes that can beat man-to-man, or the option route, which is really good against man-to-man. Maybe even want to go, you know, with hitches and things like you smart route hitches against shaded up coverage as well. You know, prevent those beat press animations. But again, you know, you're going to be able to space the field pretty well here against 2-man under, because you don't have to worry about purple zones being on the field underneath, taking away some of your outbreaking routes. This is a very vertical attacking play that wins left, right, and middle of the field. And then you have the options to mesh over the middle with your running back. You can motion drags with the receiver. You can freestyle with the tight end, even if you wish as well. You have the option to use crossing routes instead of the deeper post route. You know, this is a great freestyle play. I think it's pound for pound the best play in bunch in the game. And you know, it's one of those plays that if you do prefer to run bunch, I think that you're going to be at your best against the defensive meta, going to a playbook that has this play. Again, with the AP changes in MUT as of the 29th of December, we now have basically 12 AP to play with. So we're talking about potentially 4 one-step aheads. And people are going to start to get kind of gutsy with those one-step aheads. They're going to trust, oh, hey, let me play press coverage. Even if I, you know, give up a beat press animation, the one-step ahead will get that separation back, right? Well, not on a fade route. That's what's really important to remember, is that, you know, even if they want to play one step ahead, you know, there's really no cut in a fade route. It's all release and speed from that point forward. So this will be a great way to start attacking those one step aheads. So you should definitely, if you guys like to run bunch, get this into your offense. It's one of the most consistent, if not the most consistent, press man beater in Madden 21. So if you guys like today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, be sure to drop those below. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I upload next time. And until next time, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.